point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Yes, family, I want to welcome back to yet another very important segment we can through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kamaraimba, and today na the 25th of January 2022. We get three main items where we can try for analyze here, and you say get the opportunity for make your own comment. We go read I am. The first one first, we don't see another bloody coup which doesn't take place in Burkina Faso. Just few months where another coup take place in Guinea, and this not the same sub-region it happened inside West Africa. That is very worrisome for we as Sierra Leoneans. We know say then here gets then get copycat style, because when one could take place in one country, the army in some cases can tend for copy them from their colleagues. So what's in this mean for the region? We analyze this. And secondly, again, one can reveal some of the main reason, or probably the main reason why up till now Kamaraimba in a prison, and it seems as if he's destined to rot there, because with all the plea, with all the civil society activists or people in the call, this man for let them just bail and let they not say them get freedom forever, or let come on a prison with impunity, but at least get the privilege for let it come out of the current situation where they and attend the courts and let the courts found are guilty or not. So we one can tell now the main reason we make President Bio in government still hold Kamaraimba. And lastly, of course, we own a Chelsea fan. We know say one of the greatest player, Antonio Rudiger, been at the country, and he can spend 2 weeks, and when I will get some of them videos and them, and not go no side, we can do the analysis proper.
Talking Point platform for news every day now we country salute. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit, TTPTV.
So, family, let we start first thing first. This news starts from, we begin get this news from Monday, where we begin to understand, say, there is a coup on the making in Burkina Faso. Now, this gets very serious effects on the sub-region, because like I mentioned earlier, a few months ago, we talked about Guinea, and Guinea, they're under sanction. And apart from Guinea, Mali, then self-stage a coup. And apart from Mali, Chad, and latest now, Burkina Faso. What does this mean for we? Because we know say always some elements of the army in there, now the corner, they watch what's in the happen within the sub-region and within the colleague. If, like, for example, we say Mali seems as if they are getting away with the coup, and follow with Chad and follow with Guinea, they are getting away with the coup, because with all the talk, with all the sanction, nothing no happen. And then why about don't copy? Because any khaki boys, they are not meant for rule the people. Soldier, not soldier. But always you get elements within the army where they always look for opportunity. These are opportunities there where for create a bad precedent. I'll tell now something. 4 things. One of the reasons where the coup now Burkina Faso not good for the sub-region, it scared potential investors. Secondly, it take we continent continent backward region. West Africa has been one of the most troublesome continent region when it comes to coup. We don't get much more coup than any other partner Africa. And this is not the number 2. Number 3, again, this it make the continent, it make with sub-region disorganized. Because, I mean, anyhow we look at democracy, now the will of the people, democracy, it get much more benefit than when khaki boys and in power. Because over the years, we don't see what the army didn't see. Most of the excuses when they put the reason why they overthrown, when they can do worse. they can do worse. So what was the point when they even, I just like when somebody see opportunity and capitalize on it. Now that makes sometimes we warn and we advise, we talk on the politicians and make them rule justly. Because if people are aggrieved, if the people are within our power, democratically elected people, let's say the president, the government, not they do thing, or in they favor one section, or in they favor one region as against the other, or in order to distribute the national cake equitably, or probably in they favor one tribe, this they breed sentiment of sort of like people and will begin to try for talk, and I mean this go this sumu talk will come with the point that some bad people and some bad acts within the army will want to use this particular precedent for set a coup. And we don't want to let that happen in our country, absolutely, because we know what in Sierra Leone and go through. We went a very brutal civil war, more than 50,000 people and died. So we don't want that, and we don't want that absolutely. That make we pray, we hope and pray, say nothing like that's no repeat in our country, and we just call on our authorities and make them pay more attention. Now we bring for this clip where just surface here about Burkina Faso, then coup. One moment, let's just bring a counter to now quickly. Okay. All right. Seems as if this. All right.
Site of what is left of the presidential motorcade. Burkina Faso's special forces turned their weapons against the president's security detail. Several people were wounded.
What's going on here right now? Nothing's going well. We expected a lot from President Roch, and he's only disappointed people more with new appointments, always with a new government. But he was the real problem.
For the president's party, this was an attempted assassination on a democratically elected leader. Mohamed Kamarainba survived, but his time in office was up. A band of soldiers calling themselves the Patriotic Movement for Safeguarding and Restoration, led by this man, Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damibe, appeared on state television, saying they had ousted Kabore, the government, and suspended the constitution.
The movement, which brings together all the components of the defence and security forces, has thus decided to put an end to the power of Mr. Kabore on the 24th of January 2022, a decision taken with the sole aim of enabling our country to get back on track and to gather all its forces in order to fight for its territorial integrity, its recovery and its sovereignty.
Kabore faced growing discontent in his inability to deal with the rising attacks of armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIL. Millions have been displaced and thousands killed. What appeared to be a mutiny on Sunday, with soldiers asking for more means to deal with the ongoing threats, escalated into a military takeover on Monday, with special forces taking over both the national TV station and the presidential palace. Earlier in a tweet, President Mohamed Kamarainba asked soldiers to lay down their arms in the interest of the nation, calling for dialogue. The West African body ECOWAS called on the soldiers to return to their barracks, while the EU urged the immediate release of the president. The UN expressed condemnation.
A third coup in West Africa. I will say that ECOWAS, the regional organization, has been extremely responsive and strong and unified in their responses to these coups.
After Mali, Guinea, now Burkina Faso, soldiers are yet again toppling an unpopular but democratically elected president in the name of the people, promising to restore peace in a region gripped by violence and uncertainty. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
So, Fambula, that was a short clip where the boys and the khaki boys, some of the reason we didn't put, always, they not can get any sort of like any tangible, any clear reason why they would just overthrow the government. Like I mentioned, the thing, this will set the continent backward, it will set the sub-region backward, and it will even set the very country, Burkina Faso, within the struggle, backward. And most of these sanctions where ECOWAS they prepare right now, it don't get much effect, because take a look at Mali, nothing. Mali not in the getaway. Even then get a transition for make them hand over to civilian rule, then say no, then we'll put on your own time. Look at what they happen in Guinea. So this now wake up call for Sierra Leone, for level leaders and pay attention, because possibly there are some elements within the army probably who want copy some of them pattern there. We don't see when one could take place now one country, one area, it can tend for motivate the other one there. Now move from that point still. Now we come to the next part. The next issue, Naya, okay, what will we talk about? We talk about the issue of Kamaraimba. Many times we don't talk and I say nobody should be above the law. That is one. Secondly, justice must be prevailed. Impunity, not you enough for encourage rape. When somebody calls or somebody rape attempted, the law for found out whether he is guilty or not. The area of in the issue of Kamaraimba, I believe say the government get all the power for make them for able to grant this man bail. What would they say is, will not say the man guilty, will not say the man not guilty, but at least for the sake of sanity, for the sake of like let not be say because this man are one of the main opposition. This man it be even more vocal past the main opposition part when APC. It be they choke the government, it be they attack them in the way. So maybe it was just a unique opportunity. The government is saying, nothing, this guy don't team up now. They don't team up now about truth from we. This would they put on a tight place. And the smallest opportunity they get, then they use that. How many people then where governments don't pardon? Look like what happened LAC. Person we kill, where them found wanting and then convict her, then the president Bio pass. Again, clemency. He go out. Nobody don't know whereabouts right now, even though he revoke the pardon way pardoner, but it's too late. So what are they talk about? Imagine somebody who don't convict a murderer, then get pardon, then free. What about somebody who is still there on trial just for grant and bail with all the excuses? We know say this are politics to play. We know not to secret. We don't match or we know, because I know say the man na Sierra Leone, now a very tough guy where at least people know there is no way absolutely that man would just run away just because of that. But this is how democracy, we practice democracy. This is the wrong way. And I mean, it has sent a very bad signal to people that will get genuine concern, genuine criticism for the government. It don't reach to a point in Freetown, in Salon. People in a salon not get the guts actually for going at the media and criticize the government. And at a point we are in for. I mean, criticism not entirely bad. If you there in governance, you know how many criticize you for God's sake. I mean, you're destined for fail, because not only when they criticize you constructively, you say you mistake. Anybody, even we as individual, if you all the time you party and they praise you, be careful. Be careful, because you don't follow another far. Because we are mortal man there, we get with faults there, we get with mistakes there. Therefore, there should be somebody out there who will correct me peacefully, or even if sometimes you not be peacefully, it may aggressively, at least it will make you learn something there. But it seems as if the president's not like criticism, and the SLPP government not like criticism. This is why today, if even Chris Man, we don't see blacker, we're not Chris Man, because of, I mean, they talk some maybe Chris talk and they all are the bitter. We play them videos and they, but let's bring calm to una quickly. Let's take una attention. One of the reasons we make the governments get Kamaraimba in hats. Take a look at this, please. Yeah, welcome, Mohamed Kamaraimba, viewing from Kiev. You're welcome.
Rice annually, that is, and majority of that's what we eat. Kamaraimba, your thoughts on this? According to government, there is much interest being put into agriculture so that we'll become food self-sufficiency. In overall annually, what we import is 900 metric tons of rice annually. That is, and majority that's what we eat, majority of which is being imported. And when presentations were made for budget allocation, the then minister, Joseph Ndanema, pleaded that government gives the ministry 10% of the budget so that they will be able to do all of what they are supposed to do, so that we are able to feed Sierra Leone as a nation. And they also pleaded for 73% of that money to be paid in the first and second quarter, so that preparation will be done. So how would you assess government's commitment in reality as against the pronouncement in terms of agriculture, so that Sierra Leone can feed itself?
Thank you, Samuel. One thing about, I've said it, this government is good in rhetorics. My sister was just mentioning bridge and all these white elephant programs. They're good. You've just hit the nail there. About over $300 million. That's why we imported rice and other commodities for us to eat. 300 million US dollars. Money we should be using here in agriculture. Now, if you see the percentage that this government allocated to agriculture, it's a minute. So if you are saying things, and in reality, there's not much money, where are the farms they're talking about? This is 22 months, for goodness sake. The time is of essence. I've said it earlier, nobody begged President Julius Maada Bio to come in governance, to run for president. He spent 22 months going around this country to say, I'm going to fix things. I'm bringing a new direction. And this direction is a lost direction now, because I know for sure that the agriculture, when you, for example now, the rice you were talking about, the local rice is more expensive than the imported rice due to the transportation and some other things. So if government is really serious, it's not just telling ministers or top government officials to go build farms. No. Empower the women, empower the farmers. Have money allocated for farmers. Every developed country do that. America has a whole bank called a farmers bank, where farmers go to borrow money to farm. They do that. Be serious. You know, Samuel, when you use propaganda and lies to control the economy, I've said this before. 2000, the judges of this country are the people. Come 2023, they are going to judge. I'm just saying things here to help President Julius Maada be a better president. That's why I'm opposing. But come 2023, the real judge is not going to be Mohamed Kamaraimba. It's going to be the people. And these people will understand that. You know what? You've been talking about economy, farming, agriculture, and all of that, but now, and that's what I said, he is going to be a one-time president, a OTP club that's already formed in West Africa. Goodluck Jonathan is there, Mahama is there, and President Bio would definitely be there if he doesn't buckle up and raise the bar and govern well. I've told them last month, he has about 20 months to do this. The past 20 months or 22 months is a complete failure. I know for sure there's a word there, it said, we inherited a hopeless government, hopeless economy. So, so for me, now, they've really transformed from hopeless to useless. To me, this government is not useful. Okay. Because for the past 22 months, extreme and excruciating hardship, Samuel, and lack of employment, you can see a lot of things going bad in this country, and even security is not that too good for the country. Okay. So we need to understand that you're not just talking about hopeless, you're talking about useless government going forward. Thank you. We need to use
as we round up, Joe, you have.
Okay, Fambule, that was the clip where some 2 years ago where this gentleman do this. So this is now one of the reasons we make Kamaraimba probably will continue for rot na Pademba wood. It's not about justice. It's not about say they began to bail, but they say in documents no authentic, in document not clear, in this that they find any kind of excuse, any kind of way, just at least for all that gentleman. And this is bad for democracy. If we not get opposition, is not an enemy. Now we understand this. Opposition is not an enemy. Opposition is part of government. Opposition, now somebody wait for befriend. Because at the end of the day, okay, now a government in a waiting. We know they say like, okay, maybe somebody go argue the ADP, then small NGC party, then small party there, then chances of actually winning election the country based on the culture of APC and SLPP is very slim. But however, if we still respect them, because I mean we don't allow them for registered as political party, they still now force for reckon with. So I mean, the government's need for, I mean, certain small thing, the justice area basically should not be dictated by the executive. But what we see, so in the case of Kamaraimba, we know say there is political undertone. Now, just like when they talk, we they make this. Look at the coups where they take place within the sub-regions. I mean, who knows within the elements of the army where some people then go find very small flimsy excuse, opportunities then just at least for create disturbance. We don't want that. Peace and stability. But now we remember what the TRC talk about. When we get to war, that was TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Commission was set up, and then make a recommendation. Lord, we not tamper with justice. Lord, we left the justice, serve the justice. Let politicians not use the justice, the law for punish, for use the law as a cane for beat their opposition, or anybody there against them. Because at the end of the day, they will tell on the country. Lord, we get equitable way of distributing resources, tribalism. All of these very, very beautiful recommendation was given back by the TRC. Because then discover that these are the things that actually will be led to the war. And for now, we're not going into that again. But if we see a government, they actually they deprive a whole political party leader for at least saying what, for not criticize further, just for, I mean, their own selfishness. This not only way they win election. This you just a dumping your character, your chances, and it bad. And there should be people that will for talk. Some of we, yes, we not go tired. We will continue for points some of them here because we want to see the country better. We want better. We want to see better governance. We want to see good governance practice, because when we get good governance, I mean, peace and stability, we go able to encourage more investors and for Canada country. Mind you, Salon a country, we don't get resources. We don't get money. Forget about the natural resources. We are not going on the gold diamond because from over 60 years, they're not getting nothing for benefits. We talk about the people where they can invest. Investors then, no investor, no, they will go on a country, we're not stable in terms of peace or maybe human rights abuse. Some big country, the big company, where they come up from them, developed country there. When you human rights track record is questionable, they're not a good day. They're not a permit them for good day. Even the company who want to go invest there, their own central government, they tell and say no. They make, I mean, options and they book. Options and they, how we go attract investors if we use if the justice system broken, if they behave in that kind of way, it's very, very difficult for them to move from this point to another point. So we call on the government for make them pay attention. This guy, let government not can fend way, and let's say, because I mean, Motaman, anything can happen. According to lawyers and the doctors, this man sick in the Pademba Road. Waiting them be the ask for let them grant and pay. It's not that them for free. We know they say for free because still allegation. It depends on the judges for make them prove whether he was actually guilty or not. So now they're on the court side. But for let government they interfere for make them punish her, because definitely this government get unstable. Because they get all kind of way. I mean, we don't see many type cases, similar cases with them grant bail. I mean, I'll put that aside. But again, let the government be careful and let them be aware. Some of them think it's not good for democracy. It's not good for democracy today and not good democracy for tomorrow. And mind you, you as a government, you're not potential opposition, because you not go last there forever. I mean, Lord remember, APC not be the things said in the left power. With all waiting them, they do, I mean, the roads or the bluff with lights, jobs. I mean, back then, even the economy was doing better than now, because at one time, Salon economy was rated as one of the fastest in the world. In 2012, 2013, he was doing very well. But at the end of the day, the people, the electorate, them pull out. They vote their out because of so many things there. So you hold in a power today, mind you, even if it is 100 years, not forever. One day you go to the opposition side. Think about this. If you go and treat you like this, how you go feel? Law left that side. Law moved on to sports. One of me, a Chelsea supporter, I'm not saying yes. Sometimes yes, we have to take sides. This is where I belong. Me, a Chelsea fan, because we so happy because one of the big stars of the country, one of the big stars of the Premier League, one of the big stars of the world, one of the big stars of German football, where now Antonio Rudiger, he don't arrive in the country. And the guy was so grateful that he even got an Instagram page. And I mean, he's speechless the way they welcome him at the country. He's so happy. He's so happy. And he's there for 2 weeks. He's there for 2 weeks for can launch in foundation. One can contribute to in own country, because anyway look at her, of course, in lineage of Sierra Leonean. We know that, but again, we look at the love, because this is not purely love. You get all right, was okay. I know they associate myself with Sierra Leone. I mean, the man not German, but at the end of the day, you look at in heritage, you look at in roots, it's a no lago, and this is so beautiful. And we wish and hope more of those we comrades and we Sierra Leoneans with a big superstar them, like we don't say at one time. Idris Elba can at the country himself can make some promises, which is very good. Now let's just take a look at some of the welcome way he received. When a very, very warmly rounds the welcome way himself appreciate. Let's take a look at this. So, family, now so we end the program. So, these are the 3 items that we'll get time for today. We tell you plenty thank you for left on our busy schedule. Yes, we welcome Antonio now in country, and I believe so himself in contribution will come make a big difference here. And one of these days we see we defender Coca, we himself they create your own foundation for contribute to football, and now they get effect for the young one when they come, and we see waiting. Bellamy, David Bellamy Academy we do. He produce a lot of stars and for we at least some of them today they play now the national team. Their foundation here gets a lot of effects and get a lot of positive effect of the country, and it boost with morale and it attract more big people and big names where then gets lineage and gets dealing with Sierra Leone where go motivate them for me them can contribute, because we need more people there for support Salone. We get a lot of sectors that we know they improve, a lot of sectors that we know they do well, but at least if we get not all thing government to do, not everything government able to do. Some of them donations there, some of them foundation get a role for play for move the country from in current state to another. For now we get a better governance system, development progress, and all of these things can make a country go before even much more faster. So until then, my name is Mohamed Kamaraimba. Now bye bye.
Talking point platform for news every day now we country. Hello.